Coffee Beans Thursday. Spilling Coffee Beans is a collab group based out of a private Facebook group wherein we all spend every Thursday morning with you drinking coffee and giving our personal perspectives on a weekly theme. If you are interested in watching all of the other participants' take on this particular video theme, I will link the playlist for this month in the description box. And if you are interested in joining us to create these videos and you have a YouTube channel, contact me and I will get you in touch with that Facebook administrator. All right. This week's theme is I look really red and I don't know I'm a little Tammy Baker this morning. Sorry, y'all. This week's theme is a storytelling theme. It is tell us a spooky story about something that happened to you. So I had actually kind of a hard time remembering something to tell because even though I'm a huge fan of horror films and I love like ghosts and ghoulies as like a literary device, I don't really believe in ghosts. Not like the walk around manifestations of old rich white women kind of thing. I don't really get into that in a real life way. But I did finally think of this one story that hopefully you will find humorous. Hopefully I am awake enough this morning to tell you this slightly humorous, spooky story. Okay, so the year is probably 1999 or 2000. It was right after the movie The Blair Witch Project came out. Now, you can say whatever you want about The Blair Witch Project. It's not a great film. It's not a particularly scary film. I will still argue, as a true horror fan to this day, that it is one of the most innovative horror films to come out of that era. Take that for whatever you want to take it for. But, so I had seen The Blair Witch Project in the movie theater and had, it was kind of a fun time with friends. But not like a profound horror movie experience that's like super scary. Just in case I know some of you that watch these are not big horror movie fans. Horror movie fans are always trying to be scared by horror films, but very rarely achieving that. And so the Blair Witch was not scary to me. I thought it was a fun idea. It was a really fun night out in the movie theater. But because that was back when movie theaters were like actually affordable to go to. Like you didn't have to pay $60 to go to the movies for the night. Anyway, so it was a fun experience, but we just kind of left it alone. Well, then a few months later, I was having kind of like a party night at my friend Tom's house. And there was like 6 or 8 of us there. I don't really remember exactly. And his mom kind of lived in this like suburban area right on the edge of some woods. And I'm not talking about like the Smoky Mountains. Like we are not in the wilderness here. We are in city limits. But behind his mom's house, there's like this little patch of tree-iness. And Tom was like, why don't we camp out there tonight? I have a tent. And we were all like, yeah, cool. That sounds awesome. Whatever. So we go out, we set up his little tent. We like sneak out our little beer because we're adults, but I'm pretty sure we're not like of legal age at this point. Actually, I would have been. Actually, yeah, I guess we were just like immature assholes. We were like 22, I think, or something. Oh, shit. Okay, so yeah, I just spilled an entire cup of coffee everywhere, including on my laptop. So hopefully I'm even able to edit this video for you shortly. Where was I? Yes, we were having a sleepover style party. We were gonna camp in my friend Tom's mom's backyard in the forest. So we set up the tent and Tom was like, we need just a couple more things. I'll be right back. Tom was like always like, kind of weird, but we liked that. Like we liked the idea that he was weird. Like he still kind of like creeped us out sometimes, but we liked that he was weird, so we tolerated us creeping him out. Did you have friends like that? It was, never mind, don't answer that question. So anyway, we're all set up to camp. We have beer, we have a tent, and we hear this like obnoxious loud like crickety crackety shakety squeaky noise noises coming towards us through the woods. Stick our heads out of the tent. It's Tom, and he's pulling an AV cart, like from high school. One of those wheeled carts with a TV and like a VCR thing on it. Whew, can't breathe coffee. All right, wheeled cart coming toward us on a big long extension cord from his mom's carport. And he's like, pulled it out. He's like, we're watching a movie in the woods. And we're like, yeah, this is awesome. We're like, too cool. He pulls it out, he puts it on, and he's chosen the Blair Witch Project. And we're all like, well, you know, because we have to like save face here as like really cool horror fans. And so we're like, oh, this is lame, you know, whatever. We're fighting with him on it. We get started, we're all laughing, we're kind of making fun of it, doing a little MST3K thing with it, and making really bad jokes, which I don't remember what they were. I know we thought they were hilarious at that time. And so we're sitting there in the woods and we're watching, and we're getting to the part where they're starting to camp, you know, they're lost, and they're starting to camp, and they're starting to hear... I'm really sorry if this is a spoilery for a movie that came out in 1998. I'm sorry about that. There's going to be some spoilers. So we're getting to the part where they're like camping, and you know, like the Blair Witch is coming because they hear like the crickety crackety like woodsy noises outside the tent, and we're laughing. So we watch the whole movie. I feel like we watched the whole movie. Maybe we turned it off at some point because we were getting like drunk or bored or whatever. But we just start kind of like settling down, hanging around, smoking cigarettes. I smoked a lot of cigarettes at a time, and I miss that. And then we start hearing outside the tent all the crickety crackety noises. And like, you know, those are just like normal woods noises. Just like lizards and bugs and air blowing through the trees and just like the natural like quietness of things. Sounds that are always there, but at night you can hear them more because, you know, the bustle of the day isn't going on. So we're all like super trying to be cool about it. We're like, oh, ha, 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 Blair Witch. Yeah. It gets like louder, and we're like, oh, is someone else coming? You know, we're like doing all these like things to like rationalize ourselves and still like look like we're cool. And I'm like, Tom, who else is coming over? Come on, who? He's like, no one else is coming over. So we're all like, fine. It's time. We just need to go to sleep. So we all are like, you know, we're kind of crammed in there in this tent because there's a whole bunch of us and it's not a big tent. And so we're kind of like all like snuggled down in there, and the noises outside just seem like they're getting so much louder. And like, it only takes one person in these kind of situations to do it. And all I will tell you is it wasn't me. I don't remember who it was, but I know I was the second person that got up. So I'm not like trying to act like I was being super cool. I was not the first person to get up, but I was definitely the second person to get up. And so like I look over and somebody's like kind of leaning up and like, you know, like peeking around to see what anyone else is doing and leaning toward the like front opening of the tent, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm out of here too. And we like skedaddled out of there, and then we like shimmied back down across the lawn back into suburbia, like, you know, like 50 feet away, and like went and like crashed on Tom's parents' sofas. And then like one by one, like more people came back. It was that's the end of the story. Actually, that wasn't as funny as I thought it would be, but it was fun. So even like a lame movie like The Blair Witch Project in the correct context can be pretty spooky. Yeah. Am I selling that for you? Am I selling that? That's the end of my spilling coffee bean storytelling this week. Wow, that was not great. I'll be back next week with something better. I promise you. I hope you're having a really great Rocktober, and I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon.